From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather tonight.
Quiet weather for tonight, but clouds will be increasing across the area in addition to a southerly wind cranking up, and that's going to mean not as chilly overnight, with overnight lows into the 50s. And then a few showers and thunder showers moving in as early as the morning. Here's the Futurecast breakdown showing clouds moving in, southerly wind cranking up over 7 to 8 miles per hour toward daybreak. Morning lows in the 50s across areas, showers and a few rumbles of thunder through the morning, and maybe a stronger storm or two south of the Tennessee River into the afternoon. There could be a stray severe thunderstorm warning, especially from about Russellville to Moulton to Decatur in North Alabama southward for small hail or gusty winds. Not really seeing a tornado threat, and it does not look like a big threat overall. Just don't be caught off guard by a stray severe thunderstorm warning down in those areas. Showers and thunderstorms kick out as we head to the evening, but staying on the warm side into the 50s as we head through Thursday night into Friday morning. Friday during the daytime will be quiet, partly cloudy and mostly sunny, windy, and warm. Daytime highs upper 70s to near 80. A background gradient wind gusting out of the south as high as 20 to 30 miles per hour. It's during the overnight we'll be watching for round one of a potential severe storm threat. There are still some question marks on how this first round will play out. There are some models that show a few scattered supercell thunderstorms coming in after 9 or 10 p.m. Friday evening through the early morning hours of Saturday, but the upper support with the first wave will be lifting north of our area as we get into the early morning hours, and there will also be a capping lid on the atmosphere that may cause some of the storms to weaken a bit as they move in. There's a question mark on how fast that will happen. But regardless, with any storm that moves in overnight Friday night into the pre-dawn hours of Saturday morning, we'll be having to watch for the potential of a few supercells with damaging straight line winds, hail, and maybe a strong tornado or two that's EF2 or greater in intensity. There's just some uncertainty on this, which is keeping us from doing a higher threat level at this time. And also, the more isolated coverage may keep us from doing a higher threat level. The bigger threat comes from about late morning, midday on Saturday through the afternoon until about 9 or 10 p.m. in the evening. That's a long threat window where I have to tell you anywhere from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. there is a higher end type severe weather risk. That big threat window is because there's not just going to be one little single line of thunderstorms that crosses in 1 or 2 hours. This is going to be one of these situations where we have these individual scattered supercell thunderstorms in the warm sector that develop off by themselves and then they move through the atmosphere. They're scattered in nature. Not everybody gets one, but they're the higher impact type severe thunderstorms. And that's why we have a significant risk in place for all of North Alabama, southern middle Tennessee, central and northeast Mississippi, back into West Georgia. Again, the timing here is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And some of the model data we've seen today suggests we may be expanding that northward a little bit as the unstable area is trending a little bit north. We'll be watching that carefully. Any of the supercells that develop have the potential for damaging straight line winds of 60 to 80 miles an hour, hail possibly to the size of $50 to golf ball, the potential for flooding, and also the possibility of heightened type threat of a few long track, fast moving, intense upper end type tornadoes. That's the kind of environment this is. There's still some lingering question marks, but those are getting erased as we get closer, and we're getting higher and higher confidence in this. And because of that, and the trend northward with the higher instability, there may be further expansions to this risk. And there may also be an upgrade to this risk, to this violent tornado territory, which is the upper end of the tornado intensity scale. We may have to draw in one of those areas as we get closer, especially once we look at things Friday, the day before, and we really get the details of how the small scale will play out. We may be upgrading this to our top threat level across parts of the area, especially North Alabama, Northeast Mississippi, and maybe into some parts of southern middle Tennessee. We don't say any of that to scare you or alarm you. If you watched this the past few days, you know that we have been hesitant to sound the alarm on this because we don't want to needlessly worry you about this. but we have to call it like we see it. And this does look like a high impact type situation. It's not a 100% guarantee. There is still potential that there could be some flies in the ointment, but those are working themselves out in the data and confidence is increasing. So what you need to do the next day or two while the weather's still quiet, go through your safety plan if you haven't already this week. We've been urging you repeatedly all week and since the weekend to prepare for this. Have multiple reliable ways of hearing warnings that don't include an outdoor siren. Outdoor sirens serve a purpose, but they are to alert you outside. They're definitely not to wake you out of your sleep at night. And that is a potential with this, with an overnight type threat. You need a NOAA weather radio. That's the siren inside your home that wakes you out of your sleep. Also, the wireless emergency alerts that are built into your phone. The same system that does the Amber Alerts. They also do tornado warning alerts to your phone, and you know how loud those alerts are. Also, our free Tennessee Valley Weather app. You can download that in the Apple App Store or Google Play by searching for Tennessee Valley Weather. That lets you get push notifications for warnings. It gives you interactive radar in the forecast, and it also lets you watch our live streaming storm coverage, which would be beneficial if you have to go to your safe place. And you have to know where your safe place is ahead of time. You don't wait until the warning is issued and the storm is 5 minutes away. You figure that out now while the weather is quiet. It cannot include mobile homes. They are wonderful, affordable housing. I lived in one for the first 34 years of my life, but they are dangerous during high winds and even lower end tornadoes, but these may be the upper end type tornadoes where you have to be in a site-built home. You have to do the right thing. Also, helmets for everyone. Something as simple as a $5 to $10 bike helmet can protect your head and neck from flying debris and could potentially save your life, because we've learned over the years from treating physicians in the emergency rooms during these tornado emergencies that most of the people that are critically injured or are killed in big tornadoes, it's because of blunt force trauma to the head and neck region. So protect your head and neck from flying debris. If you end up in a warning, and that's everyone in the home, not just the kids, go through these steps to prepare. Make sure you're aware. If you have storm anxiety, preparing for it gives you power, which helps you cope with the anxiety, and then we will get through all of this together as we work through Friday night and Saturday. Overnight tonight, it's quiet and you can rest comfortably. Temperatures in the 50s overnight. A few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder toward daybreak, but no severe storm issues. Overnight, we may have a stray strong storm with gusty winds or small hail south of the Tennessee River from the late morning to the early afternoon on Thursday, but not a big deal from that. I don't see a tornado threat. Highs in the low 70s with partly sunny skies otherwise. The daytime hours of Friday, fine. So if you need to do last minute preparations on Friday, daytime hours, it's going to be warm and windy, but it's going to be quiet. It's the overnight hours of Friday night when round one threat window opens up into the early morning hours of Saturday. The higher threat, which includes the potential for long track tornadoes, that starts from late morning or midday on Saturday through the afternoon until around 9 or 10 p.m. Saturday evening. That's a long time window, but there may be multiple rounds of supercell thunderstorms. And again, it's a potential high impact situation with the possibility of long track tornadoes. You need to be prepared for this. We don't say this to scare you, but to give you an honest evaluation of the potential. It could still change like anything, because weather forecasting is predicting the future, and none of us have been there yet, so we never have 100% certainty, but this is a high confidence situation. Clearing and cooler from Sunday into early next week. Another threat of showers and thunderstorms toward next Wednesday. Way too early to even try to guess if those may be severe, but we'll watch it carefully. There's a look-related 7-day forecast. Ben Luna and Taylor Plott will be in the Weather Center tomorrow morning with tag team coverage. And from here on out, starting tomorrow morning, all of our main weather shows will be tag team in nature.